The day is March 16th, 1859. The sandwich crisis has plagued the great country of Chicago for almost 3 years now. The threat of roaming bandits and the crumbling economy incentivizes many to stay safely within their homes. The future of the great realm of Chicago is dark. But Michael Asher, the famous scientist known for his work during the early stages of the crisis, has a plan.
So why did you make the sandwich quiz?
Because I remember a time when the economy wasn't terrible, when people knew what was and wasn't a sandwich, and when everything was peaceful and not like terrible.
Before the sandwich crisis, the economy of the great realm of Chicago relied entirely on sandwiches. The people partook in sandwiches with glee and patriotism, using them as currency and consuming them. All was peaceful. But there will always be those among us who take no pleasure in safety. One fateful day, a particularly curious citizen discovered a cave, deep within which was sealed an artifact of immeasurable power. The Chicagoan government had stashed it there long, long ago, following the Dark Ages. It spoke of not only sandwich purism, but of the dangerous ideals of anarchism, which had nearly toppled the government of Chicago and sent it spiraling into chaos. It was hidden long ago to protect the nation from these ideals, but on February 8th, 1054, the chart was rediscovered.
On the great realm of Chicago, there had always been a man named Alek Lewis, and he was a sort of town nut, if you will. And, he had always been trying to spread his anarchistic propaganda about what was a sandwich and what wasn't a sandwich, but he never gained too many followers. And it probably would have stayed that way had the person who found the sandwich chart not been one of his followers.
Sir! Sir! Sir!
This chart represented the array of ideologies of Chicago before the purist government took power. Anarchism was initially about freedom of expression, though it quickly devolved into a religion of conquest and greed, which reached a peak when the anarchists attempted to declare Earth a sandwich. This was when the purists struck back, defeating the anarchists and taking control of Chicago, as well as sealing away the chart for good. So they thought.
Now, with the chart in his hands, Alek finally had the power to get the mass appeal and the followers that he needed. Well, on August 4th, 1997, he had the fateful rally that would represent a turning point in the history of the great realm of Chicago.
Alright, so thank you all for coming to this important occasion.
Hell yeah!
For years, we have labored under the false definition of a sandwich. As you all know, the government's definition is that a sandwich is 2 pieces of bread surrounding a single piece of food. But we have known that this is false. After all, the definition of the verb to sandwich means simply to surround one thing with 2 other things. As you can see here, this artifact, hundreds of years old, shows that a sandwich need not have bread. A sandwich need only have 1 piece of food surrounded by 2 other pieces of food. No longer shall we be burdened by this oppression. Today, we shall take back the glory of the word sandwich.
With more and more followers attending each of the anarchist meetings, Alek and his lackeys began to terrorize innocent townsfolk, all while promoting their message of anarchism.
Sorry, I'd like a sandwich, please. Hey, how much can I get for this sandwich? Come on, you sell sandwiches, right? I have a sandwich to sell. And this is a sandwich. And I'm selling it to you.
No comprehendo.
So,
People were being terrorized. No one knew it was currency. Every day, more people converted to the radical group. So I decided to take action. I started by conducting my own research and then made the first sandwich quiz.
And so, Michael began his research. Everybody who could spare a moment got a survey, each survey featuring questions intended to dig beyond the surface of purism or anarchism. Michael rather ambitiously aimed to find some sort of unexplored middle ground and construct a true sandwich definition from the answers he received to his thought-provoking questions.
With anarchy spreading throughout the great realm of Chicago, many sought to restore order. Of course, you had Michael and his group with their first sandwich quiz. The results were inconclusive, but they held promise, and this promise caught the eye of aspiring politician Luke Doug. Of course, like all politicians in Chicago, is a dog.
Luke Doug made it a core campaign promise to promote the sandwich quizzes, believing Michael's natural charisma, charm, and penchant for statistics to be a perfect flag to rally around. Luke Doug's own inspiring speeches, a clip of which is shown here, were rivaled by none.
Well, with Michael working diligently on his second sandwich quiz, and Luke cruising ahead in the polls, once again there seemed to be hope that order would be restored in Chicago. Well, this brought out the wrath of the anarchists, of course, and they went and destroyed Michael's research, and they assassinated Luke.
Let's see you finish your quiz without this.
Though things seemed hopeful for a short time, the setback of losing all of his research was enough to put Michael out of commission for a long time, and the loss of Luke Doug demoralized the remaining purists. All seemed lost, and at the time it was, and anarchy reigned free. Michael has been working on his research over the last few years, and the second sandwich quiz is finally nearing completion. The anarchy of the outside makes it difficult to administer the quiz, but this quiz will likely reignite the old spark of patriotism the great realm of Chicago used to be famous for. It's interesting that though we, as humans, hunger for progress, we also fear change. But this is not a revolution driven by fear of the unknown. This is not a heavy-handed attempt at returning things to the good old days. No, this is a revival of the glory of a once great realm. This revival won't be completed with the second sandwich quiz. It may not even be triggered by it. And perhaps we won't even live to see the restored glory of Chicago. But maybe, just maybe, we'll live to see a new beginning.
If you wish to support our cause, be sure to destroy that like button, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snap.
Watermelon, 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 watermelon.